And that's a German band you've probably never heard of, but definitely should have. That is a band called FEX. FEX, and the song is called Jenny, and it was actually part of a Zeus compilation, Zeus local performers in Germany back in the early 80s, and that a great song too. And it's kind of our lead-in to our special feature tonight. We have an exclusive interview. We're going to hear, a song or two throughout this interview as well, with one of the members of that band, FEX. Name is Michael Hädrich, and we're going to hear this because this one of their songs, one of FEX's songs, was part of a worldwide internet search for the last probably 20 to 25 years at least. And it all started back around 2007 when I guess someone over in Germany had posted a song to one of those song help forums to try to find out what the name of this particular song was, and nobody could figure it out. Shazam didn't work; it wasn't available on any kind of CD. Obviously, wasn't around back then, but any kind of vinyl or any kind of cassette, at least that we knew at the time. And it started just this worldwide internet search where nobody could figure out what it was. All they knew was that it was played on a German radio station called NDR, which I believe is a public radio station over there, and they have a lot of variety programming like we do, but it was never in their archives. They never had any, were never able to find the song, and the song became known affectionately as the most mysterious song on the internet. And if you were to go out there and go to Google and Google all of this, you'll find Reddit forums and YouTube videos that have thousands and thousands of views about who recorded this song. And I was fortunate enough and very thankful as well to be able to do an interview with one of the band members of FEX, Michael Hädrich, and we are going to hear bits and pieces of that interview right now. Enjoy, everyone. This is the After Hours Cafe on RDV, and this is an RDV exclusive interview. I guess my first question, so I know you guys recorded this most mysterious song on the internet so long ago. Had you thought about the song, over the last, 40 years or so before this big search was started? And were you aware that so many people were looking for it?
Well, definitely we weren't aware. Otherwise, this would have never lasted such a long time. You need to consider, the search, I think, was only 17 years long, but the song is 41 years old. Wow. And that's a whole lifetime, yes. So we recorded it in 1983. So probably most listeners weren't born at that time.
I was 3 years old.
So, yes, it came as an absolute surprise. The first time I heard about it was on Saturday last week. Not this last week, the week before. So it's like 9 days old that we know it. And it was because the Dutch Reddit user, Marigin1412b, he contacted me and said, "Can you send me some demo tapes of your bands that you had at that time?" There were two bands, Fred and FEX. And naively, I just dug in my old demo tape case and digitized them, sent it to him. And then on Saturday night, he sent me an email saying, "Aren't you aware that this is the most mysterious song on the internet?" And at first, I didn't grasp the scope of this. Yes, I said, "Okay, I'm going to look at it later." So on Sunday, I looked at it, and it was just overwhelming, unbelievable. So I contacted the band members. So with Ture, I only was observing his career remotely, just to see what he's doing. With Norbert, the bass player, I had quite good contact. He visited me last year here in Munich. So, we talked about old times and so on. But except for like once every 10 years, cleaning up the demo tapes and then looking at, I did this at that time. We weren't really aware, neither of the hype nor of the song reaching so many people.
Now, obviously, it was a surprise for you. How did your former or your bandmates, how did they react to it?
Well, the funny thing is that in the same week, Ture, the lead singer, was contacted in parallel from a Czechian Reddit user in the US. So when I telephoned Ture, he already knew that something was going on. And then on Sunday, we decided we gave it free so that they can reveal the case. Yes, because the Reddit user were so nice, saying they're not going to reveal it unless we give permission to do so. So they waited until we discussed this in the band, but then it immediately exploded.
I meant to ask you too, because I heard on a YouTube video that the band Fret that you were in, did you have a band in Philadelphia, PA, by the same name? Because not to interrupt you, I'm actually located in the Philadelphia suburbs, so that's why I'm curious, where the Philadelphia connection is here.
You're absolutely right. I was studying at Penn State University in 80-81, and I was fortunate to be able to form a band in the Pennsylvania region with two fantastic musicians, a drummer and a bass player, who was able to sing all these high-pitched voices like Led Zeppelin and so on. And we were touring the clubs in Pennsylvania under the name of Mr. Fred.
Mr. Fred, okay, interesting.
Mr. Fred, that was the band's name. I still have newspaper articles about it, and this, for me, really was an extremely good training for live performances. The professionality of the music business in the US, the club scene, the availability to get gigs, this was just fantastic. And we were playing like 3 nights a week, and it just was a very nice experience for me.
Oh. So then you had obviously FEX in Germany, where, of course, Subways of Your Mind, I know, is the big song now. Was your music ever officially released, or was it kind of like part of a local band search, kind of an unsigned thing kind of back then? Like, how did that all come about?
Yes, well, FEX, of course, it was I would consider it a semi-professional band. We couldn't live from it, so we had to work on the side. We had to pay for a practice room, and the practice room was cold. But we were happy and very enthusiastic, and also, I think, very professional. Like, we were on time for the practices, and we followed quite intensively. And it was a local phenomena, definitely, the band. And then we won the contest on the Hörfest. This was a band contest. And with this winning the contest, things got a little bit better. We got an agency that promoted us. They even made a little tour for us in northern Germany for 2 weeks. And we recorded in the practice room Subways of Your Mind, Heart in Danger, and some other songs as a exercise to go into the studio. And the studio then was a professional studio to record Subways of Your Mind. And this is where the internet version is from. And I think this was paid at that time from the agency. So the agency believed in us. They invested in paying the studio. And even though it's so far back, I remember so vividly our time in the studio, because it was so special for us to work in a professional studio. And this was a fantastic time. And then we had this one gig that was the biggest gig for us ever, where we played the pre-opener for Eric Burdon.
Oh, wow.
And this was on the Burghausen Festival. And the nice thing is, since we were like the pre-pre opener, but we were the first one to play on that festival. So everyone was hot for music. So the first one has a much better chance than being in between, which is like a much better position. But I just remember for the sound check, where all the people were already there, and I hit a chord on the guitar, and everyone, whoa! This because everyone was so hot, and this was the biggest experience. And through our drummer, we actually found even pictures of this. I'm going to put this on our Facebook site and on our YouTube channel. This was really our biggest gig.
Awesome stuff here on the After Hours Cafe on the Delaware Valley Radio Network. As I mentioned, I had the opportunity to interview one of the members of this kind of lost but rediscovered band from Germany from the early 80s. And that most mysterious song on the internet that you're hearing is not mysterious anymore. Here it is. It's the song called Subways of Your Mind. This is FEX, the most mysterious song on the internet, no more, here on the After Hours Cafe on RDV. Enjoy it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The FM radio debut here in the U.S. of the most mysterious song on the internet by FEX is the name of the group, and the song is called Subways of Your Mind. We hope you enjoyed the special presentation of it tonight, and we're going to have the last kind of few minutes, it's not too long, of my interview with Michael Hädrich coming up right after the break here, and we'll play one more song by FEX and then get right back to the show, of course, and play some more great music for you right up until 2 a.m. So thanks for being with us, everyone.
Learn more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Please tell me more about your current project. I believe you do music for TV and film as well. It looks like you have an amazing studio there. And then you also have a project called Silk Vision that you're currently working on as well.
Yes, exactly. So Silk Vision is a project. It's basically a duo where I can compose whatever I want and work together with a female saxophone player who's playing the saxophone. And it is a combination of rather modern music, but it has this melodic and melancholic flair that always my favorite was in music. And we're always producing the videos along with it. So it's music and picture coming together.
Is there anything else you wanted to share with the audience as far as, like we talked about earlier, their future plans for music or any advice for up-and-coming musicians?
Yes, well, one thing is we also dug up a live tape where the whole material that we played at that time and that we rehearsed is on it. So we do have quite a pool of songs that we can still work on and re-record that never have been recorded except for the live recording. And for musicians, well, until a few days ago, I also was an unknown musician. so it's hard to give the advice, wait 40 years and then it will happen.
Yeah, that's true.
But the advice, I think, would be, it is difficult to plan success, extremely. So it is so difficult to predict, is what you compose, what you play, touching someone or not. And you can only find out by trying. Yes, do you compose something or do you write something that strikes a nerve, that is interesting, that makes people want to find out more about this piece of music or art? And this can only be found out by experimenting and trying, and also taking risks.
So, Subways of Your Mind, do you know what it's about exactly? Was it written for a certain kind of thought process, if you will?
Well, Ture, he's the composer, so he could answer this best, but I know what his opinion is on this. It is the mixture of the no future atmosphere at that time. Remember, it was the Cold War in the 80s. Everyone thought eventually someone is going to hit the red button. So this was the atmosphere. And so the song had this Sun Will Never Shine parts in it, but also the young and restless dreamers. So there are always positive lines in it that give a contrast to the melancholic part of the song. And I think this contrast, this mixture of positive and fear makes the song so attractive.
Yeah.
Yes, the simplicity, somehow it has a simplistic charm to it, and it transports this atmosphere.
Do you feel like the political climate back then had any effect on you being able to get your music out there? Even though you did win a contest, of course, but do you feel like it could have had a broader reach had it not been for the political climate back in the early 80s?
No, I don't think that the political climate has had anything to do with it. You need to remember Germany after the war, even the 80s seemed to be quite long after the war, always had a complex not to stick out. Yes, be remote, we did terrible, or Germany did terrible things to the world, so don't. And so everyone was very reserved in pushing out things. And this changed with a few bands, like with the Nena band, with Kraftwerk and so on. They made it big, but it took a long time. And I think Germany is finally there, that now in the 2020s or even after 2000, there is a more mature and more self-esteemed relationship to showbiz and to music. And so I think it was not the specific political scenario at that time, but it was the general post-war mentality that had to be overcome.
This is Community Radio, WRDV-FM, 89.3 Warminster Hatboro,
107.3 Philadelphia, 105.7 Lansdale, 97.1 Bensalem, WTHA-FM, 88.1 Berlin, and WLBS-FM, 91.7 Bristol, Levittown.
the RDV Radio Network.
RDV-FM thanks Town and Country Players Theatre in Buckingham for supporting community radio in the Delaware Valley.
Hi, this is Michael Hädrich from FEX, and you're listening to Pete C. and the After Hours Café on WRDV-FM.
This is the After Hours Cafe here on the Delaware Valley Radio Network. Pete C with you. I hope you enjoyed that special presentation tonight. You know, I had been wanting for a long time, because there is another version of that, Subways of Your Mind, the most mysterious song on the internet, as people used to call it. They don't call it that anymore because a user on Reddit ended up finding what it was. But there actually is another version out there. There's a live version from a concert from 1985. There's also a live recording of when the band actually got together last week and went into the NDR studios over in Germany and actually perform the song. That version's out there for you to check out on YouTube. But then there's another version that I guess was either a demo or another version that maybe the agency had that they took to the radio station to had them play. And I had it in the can, as we say in the radio industry, in my library here ready to play, and I wanted to wait until we had a lot more information on it, and lo and behold, everything blew up last week like that. So glad that this song was found. Again, it's called Subways of Your Mind by FEX, FEX. You can I believe they have a Facebook and a YouTube page. If they don't yet, they will very soon. And I know that Michael, who was gracious enough to grant me that interview, also the band has future plans to get together and re-record a lot of their material. You can find 3 or 4 more of their songs, including the 3 I played tonight, out there on YouTube as well if you wanted to listen to them. He opened for Eric Burden of the Animals, which I thought was really cool, that band. And then he studied at Penn State in Happy Valley out there, and then played in some of the clubs, not only out there in Penn State, but also in the Philadelphia area. So I'll have to check maybe I'll check our FM Audition archives and see if we have any Mr. Fret songs. Maybe they recorded some material. So kind of cool that there was a Philly connection here. So we hope you enjoyed that exclusive interview. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us here on the After Hours Cafe. We are live until 2 o'clock. Great mix of music from the 50s through the 80s.